Principal, Reverend Dr. Joseph Olical Kunal, respected Chief Guest of today's program, Dr. Vinita Suyal, Assistant Controller of Patents and Design, Ms. Shruti K, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application and Program Coordinator of today's program, Ms. Anjali, Ms. Mubashira, and all the faculties of Department of Computer Science, along with all the students of Department of BCA. Intellectual property rights play a vital role in protecting creations, innovations, and brands. This provides various economic, social, and legal benefits. The social one includes protecting creative rights, promotes cultural diversity, fosters collaboration, enhances public trust. Legal and strategic benefits include exclusive rights, deterrent effect, negotiating power, asset valuation. So, today we have our esteemed resource person for sharing a brief idea about the topic. Now, I move on to my assigned duty of welcome you all to this online session. First of all, I would like to welcome our Reverend Dr. Joseph Olical Kunal, Vice Principal and President of today's program to this session. Well, I welcome you, Father.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Next, I would like to welcome our eminent resource person, Dr. Vinita Suyal, Assistant Controller of Patents and Design, New Delhi, to this session. With immense pleasure, on behalf of entire Yakshetra College, I welcome you, ma'am, to this session.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome Ms. Shruti K, Program Coordinator to this program. Welcome you, Shruti, ma'am. Next, I would like to welcome all the faculties of Department of Computer Application to this online session. Last but not least, I would like to welcome all the students of the BCA department to this session. Once again, I welcome you all to this session. Thank you, thanking you all.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome. Leadership is the ability to inspire hope and guide others. I now invite our esteemed Vice Principal, Reverend Dr. Joseph Olical Kunal, for the presidential address.
Okay, thank you, Anjali. Good morning to all the dignitaries present on this virtual platform. Dr. Vinita, today's resource person and chief guest. Dr. Praveen, HOD, Department of Computer Applications. Other teachers, my dear students, and all other dignitaries present over this virtual platform. Before moving to the official message, I would like to congratulate the Department of BCA for arranging a very useful session and also an area where all the Indians must be very much aware of. And dear students, participate very well and then make use of the chance and then be aware of the rules and regulations present in India. I also would like to thank Dr. Vinita, the resource person for this session, because accepting the invitation from the part of your Kshetra, you have been kind enough to be available for the students of BCA to impart your erudition on IPR, intellectual property rights. So dear students, we know in India, the right of every citizen is protected in different ways. Indian Constitution and the rules and regulations of India are considered to be one of the best in the world. But it is sorry that we do not become aware of the rights and duties that the laws give us. And one of the areas, I suppose, is the IPR, intellectual property rights. Because this rule gives guarantee to the rights of the citizens regarding the patent and all other things connected with that. When we study, when we advance, when we become more contributors to the society, the law gives us right protection and then we can go forward. So whatever we invent, whatever we have, the trademark, or other things can be protected under the law of intellectual property rights. So, realizing the need of the time, the department has arranged a session, and without going into the details, I would like to officially congratulate the department once again and also wishing all the best to the participants and thanking from the part of your Kshetra, the resource person, Dr. Vinita. I conclude and wish that the participants may be enlightened through the session regarding their rights and their duties, mainly connected with the IPR. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father.
Okay.
Thank you, Father, for your thoughtful words. Now, let's move to our session. Intellectual property rights play a crucial role in protecting creativity, innovation, and intellectual assets in today's fast-paced, technology-driven world. Understanding these rights is essential for safeguarding ideas and promoting innovation. This session will shed light on the importance of intellectual property rights, the process of securing them, and their implications. To inaugurate and lead this insightful session, we are privileged to have with us Dr. Vinita Suyal, Assistant Controller of Patents and Designs. I invite Dr. Vinita ma'am to guide us through the key aspects of intellectual property rights and their practical significance. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible? Am
Yes,
I
ma'am,
audible?
audible.
Oh, okay. So, good morning to all of you. First of all, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk about intellectual property rights. I'll be talking about intellectual property right under the NEPAN program. What is NEPAN? NEPAN is National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission. It started in around 2021-22 to make the people of or citizens of India aware about the intellectual property and right corresponding to that. As Kareem sir um, said that intellectual property rights are quite important for economic, social, and legal aspects. We will be discussing how these are related to various intellectual property like patents, trademark, geographical indication, etc. Similarly, the vice principal sir said that intellectual property rights are there in our law, but we are not aware. He is quite right. Till 2016, I was not aware about intellectual property word even. I did my PhD from University of Delhi. Until 2016, I have not heard about it. So, Vice Professor is quite right that in general, we citizens of India are not aware of our rights and duties. So, as he suggested that reading is quite important. I agree with him that reading is quite important because once we read, then we can see and we can be aware of our rights and about the general law. So today I will be giving you the brief summary of the this intellectual property and right corresponding to them. And you need to read, but read from where? I will give you the references, and if you are interested, then you can go through that references. So let me start. What is intellectual property? We all know about the property, meaning of property. Now, in general, when we say property, we mean something that we can touch. For example, suppose,
Excuse me, ma'am, you can share the screen now, ma'am.
okay, screen is not visible.
It's audible. It's not, screen is not shared.
Okay,
Yes, now okay, ma'am. You can continue.
okay. Wait, just give me. So I was talking about NEPAN. You got the full form of NEPAN and importance of NEPAN. Next is what is the meaning of intellectual property? Now, in general, when we talk about property, we generally say that it is about something we can touch. For example, suppose I have this mobile phone, this is my property. I can touch this, I can hold this. But intellectual property is something that is not tangible, that cannot be touched. For example, the software code written inside it to get it operated, the color, the screen size, the LCD screen, etc. So these are related to intellectual property. How we will deal with it in the upcoming slides. So what is needed for intellectual property? Obviously, intellect means something related to brain. So brain is needed. Then obviously resources. Otherwise, how can I use my brain? And then labor. When all these three combine to something intangible and something related to property, then it is called intellectual property. So this is the clipping from the today's newspaper. It the headline is at 90 engineer wins 17th patent for gear system. So you can find the relevance of intellectual property in our daily life. Yesterday also there was some news regarding intellectual property that I will discuss later. So to give a brief idea about what exactly is the meaning of intellectual property with an example of patent. So if you read the news, it states that it is given for it is related to patent, and inside it, it is saying that in, the patent is given for infinitely variable automatic transmission system, such that there is zero power loss, such that system replaces step by step acceleration traditional system, such that engine will not be overloaded, such that minimum air pollution. So you can see that there are some problems with the traditional system. Therefore, something is needed to thought about to mitigate these problems. And therefore, a person or a group of persons think about something. Whenever think is there, then it is intellectual. And when he gives this in the written form, so that any person, after his permission, can make that system, then it comes into written form. And when he applies in the intellectual property office, then he will get the patent. So patent is intellectual property right given for intellectual property, which is related to an invention. We will discuss it in detail. So just to give what exactly is the patent, patent is given for an invention or a technology, and they are having same meaning. For example, if you see the television set of about 1990 year, it was like this one. But today it is like this one. There is technological progress from 1990, around 1990 to today. Why? What is the need? So the need is to reduce the electricity consumption, to get the higher resolution, to get the cheaper product,